In this video we'll look at how we can take the KAMAR fields, which are often presented in a long single field with lots of individual records, into a more usable database format, focusing particularly on creating class names and IDs for Microsoft Classroom. First thing to do within KAMAR is to export your students and your classes. Find all of your students. The export order, we'll need to add a field in the export order. You can copy this out once you've done it, so that the next time you come in you can just paste the fields that you want. And we're choosing current subject line teacher semicolon and export. Save this as a students.csv or vcurrent students, or whatever name that you want, and then save. Alright, once we've done that, switch over into Excel. Now Excel 2016 has PowerQuery built in, whereas earlier versions you may have to download and install an add-in. We're going to get data. There's multiple places that you can get data from, but we're getting ours from a CSV. So I'll just find the data that I've got as a trial. So here we go, vcurrent students CSV. Connection is being established. It's showing the data. I've just got some pretend data in here, and I'm just going to load this data. So we've now got the data with the fields that has come in from KAMAR. If we update this later, then we can just do a refresh. And over on the right hand side is our query, and this is what we're going to edit. So we can either go into queries and connections to show this screen, or if I right click on here I can edit the query. The second screen comes up, which looks very similar to what you would be looking at in Power BI. Right, we can go through and we can change the field names just by right clicking and renaming the columns. What we're most interested in is this column over on the right hand side here, because we want to unpivot. Before we do that, we need to split the columns, so I'm going to right click and choose split column, or there's an option at the top as well. Split column by delimiter, and we're going to use the semicolon at each occurrence of the delimiter. Alright, so what this has done is it has split our columns so that we've got all the subjects. So I'm holding down Shift to select all of those columns, because what I'm going to do now is I'm going to right click and unpivot columns. Wow. Okay, so it's now converted each of our columns in our long rows into a series of entries. I'm going to right click and remove this column. Now the remainder of this is processing, getting things ready for Microsoft Classroom. So my first task is to separate out the teacher, so I'm going to split columns again by delimiter, but this time I'm going to use dash and the rightmost delimiter. So I've now got a column for teacher. I'm now also going to split out the course name. So right click, split columns by delimiter, and the dash again and the rightmost delimiter. That gives me the course name. And on the left hand side is the line followed by the teacher number. If the class is managed around an option or a form class, then you'll have no dash. So we're going to leave this like it is. Next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a class code which has got the year dash followed by the value in here followed by the course name. So I'm going to add a column, just a custom column, and it's going to be year 2017. Now I'm going to pull this over to the left because what I want to do is to merge these three columns to give me my class name. So if I right click, merge columns, how to merge, I'm going to put in a custom separator, a dash, and the new column name is going to be well, it's going to be section name because that's the terminology that is used in Microsoft Classroom. So I have now a section name and my teacher code. Next, I'm going to duplicate this column. In fact, I'm going to do this twice. For the first one, the section ID can't have dashes. So I'll first of all rename this to section S. I'll just call it section ID for now. And I want to remove all of the dashes. So I can replace values, find the dash, and replace it with nothing. Alright, the second piece of information I want is the course name, because once we merged we lost that. So I'm again going to split the column by delimiter with a dash at the rightmost delimiter. And I'm going to rename this course name, and I'm going to remove this column. So with all of this, nothing is removed from the source data. So if you need to go back and change a step, the steps are shown on the right hand side, and if you want to remove a step, then you can click on X. In behind, the advanced editor shows another view of all the steps that have been created. Alright, so once I've finished, I can close and load. And here's my data now that I can use to go ahead and create my CSVs for the classroom. Over on the right hand side, the query is shown and it's associated with sheet 2, whereas sheet 1 is just a blank one. You can add formulas in here if you wish.